I'm delighted to introduce to you someone whose videos and photos on social media always bring a smile to my face. She's funny, slightly bonkers, and there's not an airbrush in sight. Emma Conway, aka Brummy Mummy of Two. Emma, thank you so much for speaking to us on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I want to find out all about what you do because it does bring a huge smile to my face. I think it's ace. So, when did you start, and did you ever think it was going to become as big as it has done?
Yeah, I started in 2013, so I've been doing it for quite a while now, and I was part-time with a baby and a toddler. I'd gone from like a busy head of department in a school, and I was really bored and I was really lonely, and I just thought, you know what, like start writing and see what happens. And I started doing blog posts first of all before social media, like writing what I was thinking about parenting. And at that time, it's changed now. Parenting was really like picture perfect. It was like Instamums, my kids, behave, my house isn't messy. And that wasn't what my life was like.
No.
So I started writing, like 10 reasons why toddlers are silly sods or whatever. And people started to like talk back to me. So I started to get like a bit of a community, and then it kind of snowballed from there, really. So yeah, I was very thankful that I kind of took the leap.
That's amazing because it does, your content does make me happy, and I'm sure that it makes a lot of your followers happy. I mean, is that your intention to kind of make people feel sort of comfortable in their own skin and just to
Yeah,
have a laugh?
I decided a few years ago that I wanted anybody that comes to my social media to walk away feeling something. So they either feel like not alone, or it might make them feel not guilty, or it might make them laugh, or it might make them, sometimes, say if I'm touching on grief or something, it might make them, feel a bit sad. But I want them to walk away feeling something rather than just bashing out content that might make people feel a bit insecure or not happy. So that's what I try and think of to make people feel something.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So how do you come up with all the ideas? I mean, I've got some of my favourite videos that you've done, kind of the under boob deodorant and the and the big knickers and the tights and stuff like that because it's summer. How do you come up with all the ideas?
I've always done like observational stuff. So when I wrote my blog, it was like observations about toddlers and tantrums. I used to do quite a popular blog post where every week people would show me pictures of their kids having a tantrum because it's like a universal truth. So now I just stick to universal truth. So it's universal, in Britain when the sun comes out, we've got the washing on the line, or, we're sweating. If you're a bit plus size, your thighs are going to rub together. So I stick to stuff that I know that a lot of my followers all feel the same. And there's not that many people on social media who are my size, from Birmingham, my age. So I've kind of cornered that little niche.
That's lovely. So obviously online, it's a happy place a lot of the time. There's negativity as well. We can't sort of kind of like brush that under the carpet. How have you learned to kind of ignore that side of things and not let it bother you?
Even if you've got a relatively small audience, like I've had trolls. I remember my first trolls. I did a blog post which was I think it was 10 reasons why dads are more fun. Like it was just really innocent, like talking about how dads go on playgrounds or whatever. And I got like a big gang of dads in America troll me. It was bizarre. That was about a few months after I started blogging. So ever since then, you do get trolls, and you just have to set boundaries, really. So there's certain things like I don't read my direct messages because I know a lot you won't. If somebody's not going to say it publicly, they want to send you privately. Sometimes it's not very nice. Also,
Right.
I've touched on I have therapy, which helps me deal with certain people's perceptions of me. But you have to be like really blinkered and think about the lovely people and not focus on the small people that don't like you.
Isn't it funny how you always think one negative comment and it's like,
It's really hard, and it's something that I'm really trying to not focus on. But it is, you could have 3,000 nice comments, and then one person could comment, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, that's terrible." But you just have to have your boundaries, and then it really helps you.
well, Please keep up with the content because I think it's absolutely brilliant.
I
It's
won't
a bit of a
will.
family affair, isn't it, as well? I mean, it looks like you guys have so much fun. You've got your kids involved, hubby's involved. Is it as much as fun as it looks?
Yeah, the kids aren't involved as much anymore. Like I don't really put them on my YouTube channel too much or my stories. They're here, you know, they're on it here or there. My husband, he has a real love-hate relationship with it. Like he's quite a shy, private person. So he will be on it if needs be, but he'd rather like stay out of the limelight. Like he's been places and people have come up to him and said, "Oh, you're Emma's husband," or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, hello." And he's very polite, but they're very supportive. Like my mom and my dad and my sister, you know, are really good. Especially my mom. My mom absolutely she'd be on every Instagram post if she could because she just loves it. And the kids like it as well. But obviously, as they're getting older, you know, I don't put them on quite as much anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Gosh, I know how you feel. I think your daughter's pretty much the same age as my
Yeah.
daughter. It's like no photos, and what are you doing with that? And
She actually loves it. She's like a real kind of like she'd be like doing full dance routines if she could. Whereas my little boy has always been a bit more like reserved with it. But when they get to secondary school, I'm sure that'll change.
yeah, I'm sure. So you've got a busy family life. You've got everything that's going on with your successful blog. How do you take time out for you? And what do you do if you've got half an hour, if that's possible, an hour without the kids?
I am obsessed with Real Housewives. That is my one true love. I love it. I love it. I love it. Real Housewives of every franchise. Like I always manage to fit in time for them. So like I love reality TV. Also, as a family, we love Disney. So we are obsessed with Disney theme parks. So that's like a real escape for us. I've got a Disney Instagram and a Disney blog as well where I talk about Disney stuff. But yeah, Real Housewives has my heart forever. I just love them. You can't see women over 40 in any of the TV shows. You know, they're over 40, over 50, over 60, and their friendships and falling outs and romances and outfits. And I just, love it.
Talking about outfits, you post your outfits really regularly. You've got
Yeah.
amazing wardrobe, and
Well,
you're all about kind of body confidence, aren't you? I mean, how did you get to that point where you're not looking at other people on Instagram and comparing your body and worrying that you're not a size 8 and being stick thin?
it is difficult when you are online, but I am very fortunate that my mom has no shame. So I in turn have no shame. So I genuinely am quite confident in my body. There's other things I might compare, like I might compare that someone's got a bigger house, or I might compare that somebody I think is a better mom. But about my body, I generally am quite happy in it, and I know I'm really fortunate because I know a lot of people don't feel like that. I get a lot of comments like, "You're so confident. I wish I was as brave as you." Like when I put a swimming costume on, and that makes me feel so sad that some people think wearing a swimming costume's brave when it's just putting a swimming costume on. So I am quite fortunate. I'm quite happy in my own skin.
That's lovely, and I'm sure by you posting things like that, you are helping your followers.
I get a lot of messages saying, because of you, I got in the swimming pool with my kids. Or, you know, I was talking about chub rub shorts this week, and one woman was like, "This has made me cry because I didn't know that happened to anybody else. I thought it was just me." So she'd had like these sore legs and didn't realise it. You know, a lot of us have got sore legs. So yeah, I hope that encourages people.
Talk us through some of your summer tips. You know, if you're not stick thin, how do we get through the day without having things rub and sweat and whatever?
Yeah, I nearly showed you my shorts then. I wear chub rub shorts, which you can get from lots of different places now, or like cycling shorts. I wear a lot of dresses. I add like belts to like kind of accentuate like my waist and make my boobs look nice and big. I wear a lot of like midi skirts as well, so you still feel like kind of covered up. But I really just think you should just embrace what you like to wear, and you know, don't be afraid of showing bits. I mean, I'm not 100% confident. Like I don't really like the tops of my arms, so I tend to wear like little capped sleeves or something like that. But I like bright colours, you know, sandals, and just kind of, it makes me sad to think that people would be like going to the beach in like leggings and jeans when you could just wear you know, if you've got shorts on, wear like cycling shorts under them, so they're a little bit longer. So there are ways around it.
Because this podcast is all about loving the skin you're in, and what I'm realizing more and more is, and like you said, it's really sad, is people do find it difficult. And I think that if you, no matter what shape, size, what you're wearing, if you're loving the skin you're in, you radiate this confidence and this glow that
Yeah.
people want to hang out with you, or people are kind of attracted to.
It's just, I feel it's not, you can't always love the skin you're in. Like sometimes I have days and I'm like, I feel a bit gross. But I just want to encourage people to, even if you want to change your body, be happy at what your body's like at this moment while you're making the change. Like, don't always think, oh, I'm going to get back into that size 10 dress. Oh, next year I'll lose a few stone. Like, just try and like embrace what you've got. Don't let anything hold you back. I mean, I used to put swimming costumes on and think, oh, everyone's like looking at me. No one looks at me. No one cares. Everyone's too focused on their own, you know, their own bodies. So just get in the paddling pool with your kids, you know, try and have a bit more fun. But it isn't easy. I know it can be really hard.
No, exactly. I think the best people are kids, really, in terms of if you watch a kid and they just throw on whatever you've given them to wear and
Yeah.
they're out splashing around, they don't care.
Your children think you're beautiful. And if you get in the pool with them, they just like, oh my gosh, they absolutely like love it. They don't see your lumps and the bumps and nothing like that. They just think you're the best thing in the world.
Emma, you are a breath of fresh air. Please keep doing what you are doing.
I will, don't worry. Of
Before you go, could you answer our My Perfect questions?
course, yes. My perfect night in would be me and my husband watching a box set with a takeaway and maybe a Pimm's, and then we both fall asleep about 9 o'clock. My perfect evening out would be with all my family in Disney World, and it's really hot, and we go and have some nice food, and we go and see the castle, and we just have lots of fun. My perfect pamper would be every week I have like a bath with like a Lush bath bomb and a face mask, and I take like a cocktail in a tin in, and I love that. So just a little bit of me time, watch a bit of Real Housewives and just be by myself. My perfect meal would be anything I don't have to cook. So anything somebody else cooks for me, basically. My perfect date, this probably sounds very dull, but it would just be me and my husband going for a nice little meal and just going to the cinema with a nice pick and mix, and then just coming home to an empty house and watching a bit of telly. How boring's that? But, you know, there we go.